surge in the number of cases after the festive weekend. Sriyoshi Mukherjee reports from New Delhi.
Delhi recorded nearly double the number of fresh daily infections over the last 24 hours. Health officials are concerned that the spike caused by the Diwali festivities will become more visible in the days ahead. The capital's Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal pleaded with Delhi residents to wear masks and maintain safe distancing. Delhi's health minister has said that there won't be another statewide lockdown, but there are likely to be local restrictions imposed in crowded areas which are prone to becoming COVID hotspots. Mr. Kejriwal said he has written to the central government for permission to impose these curbs in case people do not follow the COVID-19 guidelines. But since the festival of Diwali has ended, he said he isn't expecting large crowds to gather in marketplaces like last week. Sriyoshi Mukherjee, New Delhi.
A defence agreement between Australia and Japan has been criticised by China. Sean Bindley reports.
Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison is the first world leader to meet with Japanese PM Yoshihide Suga since he was elected in September. After 6 years of negotiations, the in-principle deal will strengthen ties between the two countries. Chinese media have been critical of the agreement, suggesting that Australia and Japan are under the instruction of the US. But Mr. Morrison says it's an important step for both nations.
This is a significant evolution of this relationship.
Beijing says if its interests in the region are affected, it won't hesitate in taking action.
A ban on the sale of new petrol and diesel cars and vans in the UK is to be brought forward to 2030. Prime Minister Boris Johnson's confirmed the date is being moved a decade earlier as part of his so-called Green Industrial Revolution. He's announced a £12 billion plan which also includes funding for hydrogen power, wind turbines and carbon capture technology. Critics say the plan doesn't go far enough. Chairman of the new automotive group, G. Fernando, thinks it is realistic for his sector.
You will still be able to own and drive a petrol or diesel car after 2030, and you still be able to buy them second-hand. You just won't be able to buy a brand new one. I think the biggest change we'll see is a big increase in public charging stations. At the rate we're going now, New Automotive estimates we're going to have 6 charging points per electric vehicle.
From bureaus worldwide, this is FSN.
Keyboard Cat, Hamilton the Pug, and Toast Meets World. These are some of the internet's most beloved pets. And they all have one thing in common. Their stories started in a shelter. Start your story. Adopt a dog or cat today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org to find a pet near you. Training that pet to play the keyboard, that's optional. Start a story. Adopt a shelter or rescue pet today. Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
Okay, what are you wearing right now?
Nothing.
That's right. So mommy's gonna teach you how to dress yourself. Underwear always comes first, name tag at the back, then pants, then shirt. Get the first button in the right hole or you have to start all over. Socks going first, then shoes, right on right, left on left. With shoelaces, just take the ends, cross them over, switch the loops, the rabbit goes down the hole, pull tight, and you're left with bunny ears. Got it? Why are your pants on your head?
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush their teeth is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain. Visit 2min2x.org to find out more. A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
How's it going?
I'm having a stroke.
Are you going to shake my hand?
I'm having a stroke.
Wow, you're not even moving your arm.
I'm having a stroke.
When someone is having a stroke, they may not be able to say it with words, but their body language will tell you loud and clear. Look for FAST. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911 immediately. Know the sudden signs. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
The storks are bringing me a baby brother. We can do this together.
All right, let's go.
Storks know how to keep kids safe. Do you?
What?
Oh my gosh, you don't know.
I know.
You don't. Oh man, you laugh when you're uncomfortable.
No.
Making sure your child is in the right car seat is one of the steps to safer travel.
I will rock this. You will rock this.
To know for sure that your child is in the right car seat for their age and size, visit safercar.gov/the right seat.
Cool. Very cool.
Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
The following is a production of Fenix Media. The views expressed do not necessarily represent those of the company or its advertisers and may contain language that's unsuitable for younger listeners.
Laugh it up, fuzzball.
I'm about to do to you what Limp Bizkit did to music in the late 90s.
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Here goes the last DJ.
Gentlemen, I wash my hands of this weirdness.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another brand new episode of the Kristian Fenix Radio Show. It is Wednesday, November 18th. We are your daily dose of laughs and levity in a crazy, crazy world. I'm joined by my co-host, Mr. Tony Sanfilippo. Tony, how you doing today?
Doing good, buddy. It is third day, a little exhausted from late night last night. Late night last night, isn't that the same thing? It was a late night last night.
We can tell it was a late night last night.
Yeah, in my real outside of here job, we are so behind on trucks. I don't know, it's just between weather and stuff, and thank God Colorado is getting a new depot in the new year, which should make life a lot better. But trucks have to travel through Wyoming, so you get the high gust winds, they get grounded, yada yada. All kinds of weird stuff. Well, anyways, we're something like 20 trucks behind on stuff. Like, we're to the point where we have no we're out of a lot of product. You're going through pandemic shopping, no toilet paper, no paper towels, everything, even down to the bamboo toilet paper, and the Earth First is gone. But long story short, got a little overzealous, and I took a record for myself on an evening, 7 trucks, and it was way too big.
Yeah, that's too much. I mean, obviously, one crew can only do so much, but you know what?
And I have a hell of a good crew, so if they're watching, I know a few of them do. I mean, without them, I couldn't do it, but oh man, and then it was a late night, so
well, and you have to get home.
I told you like a whole segment story of how my night was.
That's all right. You have to wind down, you have to get ready for bed, and then obviously you get up at what's 9 o'clock your time, 8 o'clock mine for the show for 2 hours. So
yeah, every day I get up about 8:20. I give it that 10 minutes of laying in bed to just get your eyes open, and then once I get that morning text from you to make sure that I'm not power sleeping. So you know when, like, that's the good gauge for those behind the scenes. Like, if you guys get a best of, usually something's gone on that day. But it's also, if you randomly get a best of and we don't announce it, it's probably because I didn't wake up or something. And
yeah, it's either due to a technical issue or Tony slept through his alarm, which happens to be his rock block that you see behind him turned up to 11. So.
Oh wait, it's the other point, right? Oh, anyways,
the other side. But
yeah, no, it's funny. It's I actually never turn that on because it's too loud, and then I get the noise complaint. So it's just more sits there to hold Baby Yoda and his 2 little pop figures on him.
There you go. You need one of those alarm clocks that has those like all-terrain wheels on it, and as soon as the alarm goes off, it jumps off your side table, starts rolling around, so you have to actually get up and chase it down to turn it off.
Yeah, absolutely. I need Jarvis, man.
There you go.
Sir, we need you to get up. And it just like, was it the Jetsons that they used to, like, the bed would get up and it would push George out, and it would just put his ass in the clothes, like it would shower and brush teeth for him, and put his ass in clothes, and he'd already have a little cup of coffee, kiss Jane, get in his little spaceship. Yeah,
that's what you need.
Yeah, I do have, you know what, ready for a fun day. You know, you guys got all this extra random crap. I'm looking forward to the question you're about to ask me, but before we do, how was yours?
It was crazy. I mean, it's a whole segment's worth of explanation all into itself. So I won't go into it. I'm a little tired, needless to say. But regardless, we are here. We're going to have a great show. But let's start things out the way we do each and every day with a question for my co-host. Tony, I'm going to ask you to take off your Denver Broncos hat and put on your hypothetical hat.
Okay.
There you go. All right. Say, for instance, you're committing a crime and you realize that you are committing a crime at the wrong place. What do?
All right, see, stick 'em up. Oh, it's a porn shop. Ooh. Stick 'em up. No,
grab as many fists as you can
know.
and run.
Yeah, you know, It just depends on what you're doing, I guess. So the robbery, I don't know if you're robbing. So I guess if you're committing a crime in the wrong place, well, number one, I'm already stupid for committing a crime. And number two, I'm extra stupid because I did it in the wrong place. And I can't wait to see what my fate is and what I just did. Well, so why don't you tell us what some idiot, probably out of Florida, has done?
Speaking of being an idiot, Spencer John Payne and Cedric Michael Sims were arraigned Wednesday in connection to two
of them.
Violent home invasions. And now
you little testicles.
Two invasions is the key word here. According to authorities, the two men were accused of breaking into two houses, tying up and threatening the occupants. Police said it happened between 3 a.m. and 4 a.m. October 8th at two houses, one on Sharon Drive and one on Macomb Street. Police are still investigating who directed them to the homes, as they believe the houses were targeted. Police say in the home on Macomb Street, the family, a single father with 3 children, ages 5, 13, and 17, were tied up with electrical cords and clothing around their hands and feet. Authorities said the two men realized they were in the wrong house, made a phone call, then went to the house next door on Sharon Drive. Police said the family was threatened with death if they called the police. At about 4 a.m., police said they broke into the house next door, where they found 9 people inside, ranging from 3 to 62. None of them were tied up, but they were led around at gunpoint. Authorities said the two stole a backpack, money, and electronics, demanded driver's licenses of victims from both homes, and warned them not to call police. Still, they called. Police said they went back to the first house, apologized, untied the father, and told him not to untie the children yet. Residents found different places to stay until the two suspects were apprehended by police. So, they made a mistake, and then they went back afterwards, untied them, and said, "Oh, we're so sorry. We didn't mean to rob you. We meant to rob somebody else."
No, honest mistake. You know how that happens? You know that bitch Jill down the road? Yeah, that's the gal that we went... You know, I didn't realize your name was Joan. Like... It happens. Macomb Street, your street, it's all the same.
My bad.
Wow, these guys are idiots. They remind me of like the Wet Bandits, you know?
I was thinking that when I read the story.
Yeah, jeez.
Yeah. You can't cure stupidity, but it makes for great content for the show.
You really can't, man. I thought at first, before you got in, so the pair, I thought it was going to be funny. You were going to say they worked for like... the same crime spree thing, like maybe they were in a unit of people that do this, and like one tied up, like these friends, like maybe one accidentally tied up the family member of that one friend or something dumb like that.
Hey, I wouldn't put it past it.
Why'd you tie up my grandma, dude? Better that, don't take the heirlooms. What are you doing?
Leave the Hummels. Well, folks, we have a wonderful show lined up for you today. It is a Wednesday. Let's talk about today's show, shall we?
Hump Day! Yeah!
All right, it is Wednesday. Wednesdays are Words Are Hard Wednesdays because words are hard. We have a segment called Deleted Tweets. Our call-in topic today are the greatest movie plot twists ever. We have a segment called College Roommates. We end the show with This Day in History, and Tony is up next with the entertainment news. Folks, don't go anywhere. We'll be back in a few.
Welcome to Calvin's Barbershop.
You all gotta see this.
I don't even want to know what you're looking at on that phone.
Well, you should. I was learning about the dangers of high blood pressure and that we need to get ours checked regularly. High blood pressure can increase the risk of heart attack or stroke, but this text program can help keep it at a healthy range. Just text Barbershop to 97779 to sign up.
I'll get right on it as soon as I'm done with this baby panda video.
Text Barbershop to 97779. A message from the American Heart Association and the Ad Council.
It's important to plan ahead for emergencies, like the storm. When it kicked in, we had a plan. We were able to get in touch with each other in no time.
Idea how to find each other.
The whole experience was fine.
The most frightening 10 hours of my life.
If there's one piece of advice I'd offer other moms out there, it's to stay calm and keep to the plan.
Some parents plan ahead, some don't. Make sure you know where to find your family in an emergency. Start your plan at ready.gov. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
I spend a lot of time in the backyard, and I'm the center of attention at summer barbecues. In '96, I made some of the tastiest s'mores. And in '09, it was me, your backyard fire pit, that accidentally started a wildfire when a summer breeze carried one of my embers into some dry brush.
Spark a change, not a wildfire. Visit SmokeyBear.com, brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Hope you enjoyed your meal. And I just want to say, he's lucky to have a brother like you.
Lucky? Caring for my brother is far from easy. But he's a part of me, like my arms and legs, so I'll be his. No time for tired. Nothing can disable this love. He needs me, but I'm the lucky one, even though I need help now and then.
If you're caring for a loved one, visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community. Support for your strength. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
What if I told you that a tornado was going to happen tomorrow, right where you live? That it would touch down at exactly 3:17 p.m., and I told you the exact path it would take. You would, of course, prepare. You would talk with your loved ones, and you'd make a plan today. It's true, I can't tell you a tornado will strike tomorrow, but shouldn't you have a plan anyway? Go to ready.gov/communicate and make your emergency plan today. Don't wait, communicate. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
This is Mario Andretti. You know me as a race car driver, but I'm also a Meals on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sport's biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. You can make a difference by dropping off a hot meal and saying a quick hello. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media. Listen live and explore more great shows at phoenixmedia.us. Get everything you need for the Kristian Fenix Radio Show over at phoenixmedia.us or on Facebook at facebook.com/Fenix Media Radio. Now back to the show. And we are back, folks. This is the Kristian Fenix Radio Show. It is Wednesday, November 18th. Now, we have a little thing we call the Fenix Line. It is a 24-hour day, 7-day-a-week voicemail line, giving you guys, the watchers and listeners, an opportunity to chime in on anything whatsoever. Maybe you robbed the wrong house and had to go back and apologize. We want to hear about it. Call the Fenix Line at 855-FENIX-RADIO. That's 855-FENIX-RDO or 855-336-4973. All we ask is that you keep it entertaining. We'll compile those together, put them out in a future show. Now, speaking of entertaining, Tony is here with the entertainment news.
Good morning, everybody. It is Wednesday, November 18th, and here is your Filippo Semi-Fast 5. Matt Reeves' TV version of Gotham City is in need of a new showrunner. Terrence Winter, who created Boardwalk Empire and was tasked to write and serve as the showrunner on Reeves' TV spinoff for the upcoming movie The Batman, has left the project over creative differences, according to The Hollywood Reporter. The HBO Max spinoff was picked up straight to the series back in July and was described as a companion show to go alongside 2020's big release of The Batman. So hopefully that show ends up finding a new showrunner that cares.
I'll volunteer. I'll throw my hat into the ring.
There you go.
I care.
Do it. Do it. I don't have the soundbite for it.
Do it.
Paramount Pictures and Hasbro Studios have found a director for their new Transformers film that is intended to reinvent the franchise. It has been announced that Creed 2 director Stephen Capel Jr. has been tapped to helm the film, although according to Deadline, negotiations have yet to begin. That's a nice contradicting little story there, right?
Right.
That being said, he is the top choice among studio execs and producers, and a deal is expected to close in the coming weeks. Well, a reboot of a Transformer film's I don't know. It could be done. Bumblebee wasn't that bad. Bumblebee was actually pretty good.
Yeah, in fact, Bumblebee stuck closer to the original canon G1, timeline than any of the Michael Bay films did. So
yeah, I think as long as you keep away Michael Bay, I think you'd be good. And you got to keep the same voice of Optimus Prime if you got Optimus.
Yeah, you need Peter Cullen. I mean,
yeah,
there's no ifs, ands, or buts about
That's
that.
the voice.
Yep.
You no matter who reboots it, how you make him look, whatever. He's got to be the voice.
Yep.
So, the holidays are upon us, and Disney Plus is kicking off the season with a celebration from our favorite away, far away galaxy. This year, a brand new Star Wars holiday special has been released with an animated twist. Lucasfilm and Disney Plus announced the Lego Star Wars holiday special earlier this year, and it's finally here. While most Disney Plus originals arrive on Fridays, the holiday special released online yesterday morning. So if you want to watch the Lego Star Wars holiday special, it's available to stream on Disney Plus. The trailer looked great. It looked basically, it showed Rey went back in time to celebrate Life Day, which is their Festivus Day / holiday. Right. And that's a take from the original very horrible Star Wars holiday special. Yeah. And it's in Lego form. It looks like it has the Lego humor, and I'm looking forward to watching it. Didn't up until I was doing the articles, I didn't realize it was already out now.
I didn't either, but looking forward to checking it out.
Yeah, should be a fun weekend watch there. Yeah. Michael J. Fox has decided to retire from acting again while he was promoting his new memoir. If this is the end of my acting career, so be it. Obviously, he's still struggling with Parkinson's disease. He hasn't acted in a whole lot, and what I like is he's done a lot of Back to the Future pop-up appearances for that, and he's done a few cons here and there, but his health is always the top priority. Michael J. Fox is fantastic. I don't blame him if he doesn't act anymore. I mean, he can't be how he used to be. It's a little harder on him, so it makes sense.
Yeah, and when you do see him pop up, it's a special little treat.
Yeah, absolutely. So when you do get him, it's good. Yeah, anytime you get him in those cameos as Marty, it is a little sad because it was kind of foreshadowing, right? Back to the Future 2. I mean, a little different, but he got that accident when Needles called him Chicken.
Yep.
And he had those issues where he couldn't play his guitar anymore. So, kind of sad. But nonetheless, still a great guy. And lastly, in sports news, Saints quarterback Drew Brees was injured on Sunday, and it's more serious than first believed. He has 5 fractured ribs and a collapsed lung from a hit he took. So, needless to say, he will be out for some time, and that's a little too bad for the Saints. They're definitely in the contendership area. I don't know how long he's going to be out, but you know what? Health first. It's always, while it's great that he's a fantastic quarterback, and I'm not a Saints fan, but, for that team, it's you always want safety first.
And he's always fun to watch.
Absolutely. Well, and we don't get too many more of him. This could be it, actually. This could be the last year. You never know. So, speaking of not it, and surprisingly not retiring, even though it should be retired. And if you watched Good Morning America last Friday, which I don't know many people that watch Good Morning America, no offense, but
hopefully you're watching us.
You were gifted with some info, which now if you're watching our show, I'm just going to gift that very same info back to you. So, all right. They are making a 5th Lethal Weapon. I don't know why. And I'm a Lethal Weapon guy. But they're making a 5th one. Mel Gibson was on the morning news program to promote Fat Man.
Okay.
I don't know what that is. When he dropped a bit of news. But he confirmed that him and Danny Glover will be reuniting. It's in the works, and they confirmed that Richard Donner is working on the project with them, and it is a go. So the old joke is I'm too old for this bleep in 1987's Lethal Weapon. At the time, Danny Glover was relatively young. Now Danny Glover's 74 and Mel Gibson is 64. While age is just a number, I just don't know where you're going to go. And it may be way too long in between breaks to make a 5th one. My opinion, I don't know how to feel about it. What do you feel? I know you're a big Lethal Weapon guy like myself.
Yeah. I think his new catchphrase is "I'm really too old for this stuff." But
shiznit.
I hope they bring back Chris Rock and Joe Pesci and Rene Russo and just bring the whole cast back together. Sort of one last hurrah.
And you need that 80s cheese saxophone in there too.
Exactly.
Either way, it's coming, and I'll watch it, of course. But I got a feeling like that may be getting into the Bill and Ted 3 realm of things where people are a little too old in some spots. Yeah. So it might be a little rough. Someone who knows when to end it when they had a good run. Conan O'Brien's going to end his talk show hosting duties after 28 years. Conan will officially come to an end in 2021, and he will now be doing a travel series. So he'll be doing a variety series on HBO Max, which is cool. After 28 years, Conan O'Brien officially is done with late night show life. O'Brien took over late night on NBC from David Letterman in 93, a position he held till 2009 when Jimmy Fallon took over the gig. And O'Brien moved to the host The Tonight Show for just a couple of months, which I get to say, you and I got to see one of these very rare Tonight shows with him as the host, and
he was
wouldn't
great.
be complete without me getting in trouble with the Tonight Show security.
Yep.
So yeah,
That's the story for another day.
For another time.
Yep.
But yeah, me and Tonight Show. I never got to see it with Jimmy Fallon, but I saw it with Jay Leno and Conan O'Brien with Kristian, and both times result of me and the Tonight Show security some issues. So I'm a bad boy with that. Anyways, the show on TBS obviously has been declining, of course, with COVID and no audience. It's gone down away from what it used to be. Now he only gets a little half-hour segment show versus a talk show. And you can tell he's just burned out with it. So he's going to see out his contract through June 2021. Then he'll be doing something called Conan Without Borders travel specials. Will actually be a variety series and a travel show on HBO Max starting then. So his word was, in 1993, Johnny Carson gave me the best advice in my career. As soon as possible, get on a streaming platform. He joked. Obviously, Johnny Carson would not have known about that back then. So.
And Conan O'Brien has done some travel specials, which were fantastic. He went to Cuba in one of them, and they're hilarious. So I think this will be sort of a nice, injection of just some fresh content for him, and keeps him relevant and keeps him doing what he loves to do, make people laugh.
Yeah, and I applaud him for doing a late show, because I mean, you're out there against obviously Jimmy Fallon and Jimmy Kimmel, who are both very good at their jobs. I don't know who does. Was it Craig Kilborn? Not Craig Kilborn. Who's the one that does the CBS one?
Oh, I don't even know anymore.
See what I mean? Like he's in there, and I'm sure he's got stuff, but I mean, like you do have. Like it's the
British
guy is more popular than the main CBS one.
Yeah.
Whoever's on the old David Letterman one.
Exactly. Yeah. Late night isn't
I don't know
what it used to be.
Late nights, no, definitely not. I think late night. I still find humor in both Jimmy Kimmel and Jimmy Fallon. So those are about the only two I follow. Anywho, it's James Corden, but he's the one after. He's the late show.
Exactly.
I don't know who's the late show. When I got a text, it's Colbert, Stephen Colbert.
That's right.
Yeah, see, but unfortunately, that just didn't pop. So I'm not one of those viewers. Anywho's, I like to stretch these. I got a few more stories that I'll have to save for tomorrow because it's birthday time, kids. Let's boogie woogie. Oh, yeah, it's a lot of people's birthdays today. In fact, it is our friends, so basically kind of like my nephew. It's Derek Shipley's birthday, so happy birthday,
hey,
Derek. Yeah, you're not a celeb, but you're a celeb to us, and I know you're not watching the show, but if your dad is, he can tell you happy birthday. But in the celebrity world, it is Mr. McQueen, who's is lightning, still crashing weddings, and still so hot right now. Mr. Owen Wilson is 51. Doug from Hangover, the other Doug, not the real Doug that went missing, and Day Day from the Friday series, Mike Epps is 49. Really didn't have much to tie with him. Mr. Red Sox, Big Papi, David Ortiz is 44. One of Kristian and I's favorite guitarists and seemingly one of the most chill guys with the lightest friendly voice, Mr. Kirk Hammett is of Metallica is 57. Son of Homie the Clown and star of Happy Endings and New Girl, Damon Wayans Jr. is 37. Hey, Hamilton. Hey, Hamlin. Nice PJs. You see those commercials on Sunday for Domino's? Yeah. Well, Denny Hamlin, NASCAR racer, is 39. I only threw that in because I see that. Hey, Hamlin. Nice PJs. PJs? Yeah. From Huntington Beach, California, slapping the bass, Mr. Avenged Sevenfold, Johnny Christ, is 35. Don't know his real name, but his stage name is Johnny Christ. And hey, what is going on here? Mr. Belding is 69, a.k.a. his real name is Dennis Haskins, and he has not been asked to come back for the Saved by the Bell reboot that starts next week. Or is it this week? I don't know. I'll let you know. That's your celebrity birthdays. That's your celebrity news for November 18th. Yeah.
Folks, that does do it for the entertainment news. When we come back, it's Wednesday, and words are hard. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just a few minutes.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Okay, what are you wearing right now?
Nothing.
That's right. So mommy's gonna teach you how to dress yourself. Underwear always comes first, name tag at the back, then pants, then shirt. Get the first button in the right hole or you have to start all over. Socks going first, then shoes, right on right, left on left. With shoelaces, just take the ends, cross them over, switch the loops, the rabbit goes down the hole, pull tight, and you're left with bunny ears. Got it? Why are your pants on your head?
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush their teeth is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain. Visit 2min2x.org to find out more. A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
This message is for all of you sitting in the passenger seat. And apologies if it gets a little uncomfortable, but how does it feel to be at the mercy of someone who thinks a random text is more important than your life? Someone who takes their eyes off the road while speeding along in a 3-ton hunk of steel. Freaky, right? Well, why not just ask them to stop? Or better yet, volunteer to text for them. It might be a little awkward, but believe me, you'll live.
Learn more at StopTextStopWrecks.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
We are live outside the home of Joe and Rosie Goddard, where a pretty big tickle fight broke out just minutes ago. Sources say their father instigated the laughter. Let's go inside for a comment. Apparently, they have no comment. Dads, let this be a reminder that it only takes a moment to make a moment. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
How's it going?
I'm having a stroke.
Are you going to shake my hand?
I'm having a stroke.
Wow, you're not even moving your arm.
I'm having a stroke.
When someone is having a stroke, they may not be able to say it with words, but their body language will tell you loud and clear. Look for FAST. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911 immediately. Know the sudden signs. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
Hello, Kubo. What have you got planned for today?
Come on, this way.
Adventure can be found anywhere, but the best place to start is in the forest.
It's the most powerful magic there is.
Head outside to discover incredible animals.
Wow.
And beautiful plants that come together to create an unforgettable adventure. So grab your loved ones and explore a world of possibilities. Visit discovertheforest.org to find the closest forest or park to you. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the U.S. Forest Service.
My teacher said that we should have a plan in case of an emergency. Do we have one?
First thing I'm gonna do is grab a flashlight with dead batteries.
I'm going to start randomly throwing clothes in the bag. You two will be hiding in the closet and Dad won't be able to find you.
And that's when we both start crying.
Uncontrollably. Can you pass the cutlets?
Winging it is not an emergency plan. Make sure your kids know what to do during an emergency. Who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Search Ready Kids at nyc.gov or call 311. Brought to you by the New York City Office of Emergency Management and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media, the future of broadcasting. Listen live at phoenixmedia.us. Get everything you need for the Kristian Fenix Radio Show over at phoenixmedia.us or on Facebook at facebook.com/Fenix Media Radio. Now back to the show. Indeed. This is the Kristian Fenix Radio Show. It is Wednesday, November 18th. Now, we are all over social media with many of you watching us right now on Facebook Live or YouTube Live as we speak. I can be reached on Facebook at facebook.com/Kristian Fenix Radio. That's Kristian with the K, Phoenix with an F, radio, of course, with an R, or on Instagram and Twitter at Phoenix Media Radio. Tony's available at facebook.com/Tony.Sanfilippo. That's SANFILIPPO.94, or on Instagram at Tony.Sanfilippo81. Now it is Wednesday, and as we do on Wednesdays, we like to explore the English language, the ridiculousness of it, and how people mistreat it. Yes, it is time for Words Are Hard.
Son of a...
I love that soundbite every week. It gets me to chuckle. There's a few of those on here. I say it every time. That's one of them.
It's always great when you can get a classic cartoon character to swear.
Yeah. We got it. There's that one with Lionel from Thundercats, like thunder, oh.
Ooh.
And yeah, it's out there, and it's really him. It was an outtake, and he screwed up his line or something, and he totally said OS.
Ooh,
So,
I might have to find that one.
it exists. It's there.
Well, folks, words are hard, and you know what else is hard about words? Spelling. You know, spelling is important, obviously, when it comes to text messages. Every once in a while, autocorrect intervenes, but most of the time, it's just a flat-out mistake. Or you deal with Tony's voice texts, which are about a mile long, no punctuation, and it attempts to figure some words out, but in many cases, that's not so much the case. So,
yeah, it's embarrassing to go back and read it. In the moment, you're like, cool, it caught everything. Nope. Get butchered about a good chunk of that.
Yeah. But luckily, I know Tony well enough that 99% of the time I understand what he's trying to say, regardless of what Siri translates it to be. So, with that being said, I'm going to run down some exchanges where spelling wasn't their strongest suit. For instance, here's a text exchange for somebody who, the original poster says, "How old are you when you have a bar mitzvah?" Person replies back, huh? He says,
Bar Mustaba.
He says, Jewish celebration. Reply back, 13. Boy, did you mangle the spelling on that? And he says, how is it spelled? Yeah, bar mitzvah is not a bar mitzvah or bat mitzvah, depending on what gender you are.
Bar mitzvah, my bar mitzvah. Yeah, that's definitely always a interesting one right there, right?
Exactly. Here's one that I wonder if Freud came up with this. Text says, shut the F up. I don't like you. Get over your egotistical self.
Well, if you're being a testicle to your egotistical self, I mean,
Well, apparently, with Freud, there was the id and the ego. The ego must be the male side of that because apparently it has a testicle. At least one, if not two.
Ooh. You just reminded me of one of the Cheech and Chong's. I'm Eddie Testicle, E.T. man. Eddie Testicle. We have kids that watch this show. That's great.
That's a flash run thing. Hey, we're helping parents out by letting them have those hard conversations.
They're not saying testicle, they're saying tentacle. Baby Yoda, he was eating that squid thing and had a tentacle on the side of his face.
Yeah.
What was up with that this week?
That's what we mean.
Weird.
All right, moving on with Words Are Hard. This one's actually on Reddit. It says, what is an all tomato? Response back, do you mean ultimatum? Can you describe it? Use it in a sentence. Give them an ultimatum. Yeah, pretty sure they mean ultimatum. Tony, have you ever been given an ultimatum?
An ultimatum, yes, and they snuck it in my pasta and buried it under the sauce so I didn't see it, and then when I took a bite of my ultimatum, I was nearly gagged.
Here's one where, again, I think Siri may have screwed this one up. Autocorrect, perhaps. Says, I think you should be in school. The response back is, I had an orthodontist opponent. Original poster says, well, did you win? I guess orthodontists have to battle it out to who gains superiority. Who knows? But this person had an orthodontist opponent. Moving on with Words Are Hard. Tony, how much nicotine is in one cigarette?
Well, I'm going to say there's probably about 5 cents worth.
Yeah. I would say more so than a penny prepubescent.
Yeah.
Oh, this one is so good. Folks, we're talking Words Are Hard. There are some people who have just a hard line on drugs, but of course what they consider drugs, You know, to one person might be something completely different to somebody else. They said, if you smoke marinara, feel free to unfriend me. To which point the response is, I only smoke mozzarella. And somebody else says, tripping balls on some ranch right now. I love words. I love words.
I do too. And they are hard, man.
They are hard.
Tripping balls on ranch. Wow, it's some amazing ranch.
Hey, it's better than smoking marinara, apparently.
Yeah. Hey, man, I got some marinara sauce and some ranch. We have a pizza party, man.
Tony, you got to be careful about your health. For instance, this person on Reddit says, what is tattoo diabetes? My aunt just told me she has tattoo diabetes, and Google doesn't find anything. Of course, the response back is type 2, not tattoo.
Yeah, tattoo diabetes. That's why I got a tattoo and I got some diabetes on tattooing when I was down at the Mos Eisley Cantina.
Tony, when you go to a steakhouse, what do you like to order?
Everything that's just safe, you know, just the warm, cuddly, that's good in my tum-tum.
Well, for this person, they thought that their parents were going to the steakhouse and are probably going to buy a flaming young and a cake. Not a flaming young, a filet mignon.
Flaming young and cake down at the safe house. It's the happy safe house on the corner of 5th and Vine.
And folks, finally, in Words Are Hard. Here's something that looks like it could have been on the door of maybe, say, a Costco or a Walmart. It's a sign that said, card only, no cash back. Sorry for the incontinence. Apparently, this store is giving them diarrhea. But you know what? Words are hard, and,
Cha-cha.
Inconvenience, incontinence. Sound similar, but very different. Folks, when we come back, we are headed into the final segment of the first hour with a segment we're calling Deleted Tweets. Don't go anywhere.
This is Mario Andretti. You know me as a race car driver, but I'm also a Meals on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sport's biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. You can make a difference by dropping off a hot meal and saying a quick hello. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
People been saying to your friend, get a different face, and posting on their feed, they're super ugly. The things they say to them online are cruel and they're not true. So tell your friend, I'll stand up for you. Don't worry, I know what to do.
Know someone being bullied online? You can be a witness and make a difference by letting the world know it isn't cool and by letting your friend know you care. Learn more at eyewitnessbullying.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Hope you enjoyed your meal. And I just want to say, he's lucky to have a brother like you.
Lucky? Caring for my brother is far from easy. But he's a part of me, like my arms and legs, so I'll be his. No time for tired. Nothing can disable this love. He needs me, but I'm the lucky one, even though I need help now and then.
If you're caring for a loved one, visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community. Support for your strength. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Allison is perfect. I mean, she'd never tell you that. She's humble and perfect. She likes everyone. She even likes her untidy roommate's weird guinea pig. Allison, wait, are you texting and driving? Allison, no. That's the exact opposite of what I was just saying about you. Why, Allison? Why? Texting and driving makes good people look bad. Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
I'm Paul George of the Indiana Pacers. When I was 6, my days were spent playing basketball. When I was 6, my dream was to make it to the NBA. When I was 6, my mom had a stroke. So I want you to learn to spot a stroke fast. F-A-S-T. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911. I'm Paul George. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
My name is Lola Silvestri.
and I'm going to be 95 this year. I was very independent. I fell, and I had to have Meals on Wheels. America, let's do lunch.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer for Meals on Wheels by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org. This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media, the future of broadcasting. Explore more great shows at phoenixmedia.us. Get everything you need for the Kristian Fenix radio show over at phoenixmedia.us or on Facebook at facebook.com/Fenix Media Radio. Now back to the show. And we are back, folks. This is the Kristian Fenix radio show. It is Wednesday, November 18th. And while we're heading into the final segment of the first hour, there is still plenty ahead in our second hour. We're having fun. But if you did miss a portion of the show, want to go back and catch up on any of the previous shows, it is easy enough to do so. Head over to phoenixmedia.us, click on the show's link, scroll on down to the Kristian Fenix radio show. From there, you can get video, you can get audio as well, or head over to wherever you get podcasts. Apple, Google, Stitcher, Spotify, Anchor Breaker, TuneIn, iHeart, about 20 in all. While you're there, be sure to subscribe. That way you always have the latest episode. Leave a review, let us know what you think, and tell your friends, because sharing is caring. In this segment, wanted to talk about deleted tweets. Tony, on social media, have you ever posted something and then either immediately or almost immediately regretted it and decided, you know what, I should probably pull that down, but knowing that it may just live forever, if somebody screen captured it, whatever it may be, but you've had to delete a tweet, for lack of a better term.
Yeah, never a tweet, because I'm not a big, I like reading. I have Twitter, and I love it to read everybody else's stuff, and I usually will retweet stuff, but I don't chime in. So Twitter, no. Same with Instagram, no. I'm sure younger me, Facebooking, yeah. Sometimes, like if you look at some of my older posts and memories, I don't know what the hell, because back then it used to be like Twitter. You didn't put pictures up. You just had a status. That was all you had on Facebook originally. So I would say somewhere in the like 10 years ago, probably. Nothing that's going to come back and bite me in the butt like if I became a powerful person or something.
Yeah, no Kevin Hart. No Kevin Hart tweets.
Yeah, you'll never find a racist tweet or an offensive thing. Like you might find me loving the Broncos, hating the Broncos. Like this last week was the most scathing like post I've put in years. That's about it. But but my early days in MySpace, yes, I badmouthed another manager. And I went to a different Costco, but that came back and bit me in the ass because I was trying to move up at the time, and it resurfaced. And it didn't slow my career down, but I got a talking to, and from that day I learned a lesson young. And my then boss, Joe, told me, he's like, well, you know, a representation of you, if you want to be a leader, this kind of stuff you can't be doing. It follows you. And it was a printout of MySpace. I had no idea. I just thought it was like a post I did, and we didn't use names, but you knew who we were talking about. And me and another manager that transferred to this store got pulled in. It was nuts. So,
well, the good news is that nobody's on MySpace anymore, so the chances of those following you around are pretty slim. But you know, with celebrities, occasionally
I don't even know how to get on there.
Occasionally they have to put stuff, take stuff down after putting stuff up, and it just doesn't work out. Luckily Tony and I are about lowest of the total poll, probably Z- list celebrities, so we don't have to worry about too much. But for the bigger names, they certainly do. So going to run through some celebrity deleted tweets, and some are just embarrassing, some are just not right. But in this case, you've got, and again, spelling matters, Tyra Banks put, and that moment you release your bobbies from broad jail. Apparently, she's talking about releasing some British policemen.
Let the bobbies hit the floor. Let the bobbies hit the floor. Let the bobbies hit the...
And this, of course, goes back to proofreading. If you're going to post something, proofread what you're going to post. Otherwise, you get something like releasing your bobbies from Broad Jail.
Tyra Banks has not had a good 2020, man. She stepped in the role of Tom Bergeron, and it's been all downhill since then.
I'm not a big Tyra Banks fan to begin with, but who knows?
Yeah, a lot of people are not.
Moving on, do you know a celebrity named Bebe or BB Rexa?
Yeah, it's my favorite. Bebe Rexa. No, I gotta look this person up. I have no idea who it is.
She's got a blue check mark and looks like probably a model, but she was responding back to somebody's tweet that said, if you had a chance to time travel, where will you go? Her response, I would go to Paris, 1940s. Apparently she's really into World War II because Paris was certainly the place to be during the 1940s, if that was the case.
Never seen this chick. She's apparently a pop star, but never seen her.
That's news to me.
Oh,
good for you.
The only thing I have heard her on there, no. She has a songwriting credit on Eminem's single "The Monster."
Okay. All right.
I've heard the song.
Here's a name you have heard of, Rihanna. This is one where it's just vindictive. Obviously, you don't want to start any beef,
I like beef. I like Arby's roast beef.
One ham and cheese. All right. Rihanna says, since we spillin' tea, Beyonce, I effed your husband. Boom. I can see why she may have pulled that one.
That's savage. Umbrella, Ella. Damn. Well, here's the thing. When you say that text, it's okay. Well, there's your insult. Okay, but the problem is when you effed her husband, it was before he was her husband. So whoopity-doo!
Right. You and
it's
I
not
dated,
a burn. Like
yeah.
I'm sure Beyonce, she did a Foxy Cleopatra number with some other people, dude. Like, who gives a rat's ass?
Yeah. Ooh, we dated the same person.
Oh my God, we kissed the same girl. It's unbelievable. Lips taste like cherry chapstick. It was crazy.
Moving on with deleted tweets, Tony, here's one from your love of your life, Taylor Swift. She says, I just used a Sharpie as eyeliner in the airplane bathroom. I can see where she would maybe want to pull that down, maybe not want to admit using Sharpie for eyeliner or, on voter ballots. Oh, wait, no, that's a completely different issue.
That's a whole other thing. Yeah, well, in a pinch, but for her, I'm surprised she would be in a pinch where she wouldn't have eyeliner. Like, I think she would have that ready. But, hey, I mean, I don't know if that's something I'd admit, I guess, but, it's not a bad idea. I might have to use Tay-Tay, and, like, if I keep letting this thing grow, there's a lot of little whites you can't see that are growing right here.
Fill in the
blank. Hey, my girl Tay-Tay does it, so I might as well.
Moving on with deleted tweets, here's one where, maybe the future you, the past you didn't foresee the future you. Haley Baldwin obviously deleted this tweet because at some time back in the past, actually 2011, she put, I don't care what anyone says, but Justin Bieber and Selena Gomez together is the definition of a teenage dream. Well, that's her current husband, so...
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, that's a teenage dream. Yeah, well, you wouldn't think back then, but that is pretty dang funny.
Yeah.
I should put that in the world. I should start doing posts like that and then see if I end up with that girl.
Ooh. Sort of
I
self-fulfilling.
mean, it's kind of hard. If you said we're Z-list, and that's a long wall to climb. I don't know.
Right. Maybe you aim for D-list and then work your way up from there.
Yeah. It's all fitting. Like in 3 years, I'm dating Taylor Swift.
Here's one where expectation wasn't quite reality. Again, a celebrity I've never heard of named Rita Ora says, drop in my new song Monday if this gets 100,000 retweets. Of course, when you look at the retweet count, it got 1,381. So only about 10% of where she was, 1% of where she was trying to get to. So
yeah, just I need 300,000 retweets. Now, I never understood that. Like, if they got that many retweets, is that because her followers get bigger and all that stuff? I would assume so, because people always do that. If I could get like this many retweets, I'll do this.
Well, not only that, but if she was waiting for 100,000 retweets, that song's never being released.
No.
Oh, speaking of celebrities with first world problems, especially this guy who's about as crazy as it gets. Kanye West says, I specifically ordered Persian rugs with cherub imagery. What do I have to do to get a simple Persian rug with cherub imagery? Ugh. Boy, that guy's got so many screws loose.
You know, he's going to be on the ballot for 2024, man. That guy really did not put a real good effort. See, I don't understand. How the hell did he even get on the ballot this year?
You have to get so many people to sign a petition, and apparently in some states he did. So, moving on with deleted tweets.
I guess it was Colorado because he was on ours.
Here's one from Jessica Simpson that I can't necessarily disagree with, but I understand why she pulled it because she is a famous figure. She says, Dear elderly man at the gym, it's hard for me to keep composure whilst punching at chipmunk seed when your ball sack spills out of your wind shorts. Nobody wants to see that, people.
That's pretty... Well, he probably knew Jessica Simpson was behind him. I show Jessica my balls. I show Jessica my balls. Hey, you like that ball sack there?
I think everybody would.
Yeah.
Oh, and speaking of which, maybe if Jessica Simpson was behind you, you have Joel Osteen, of course, the famous televangelist, says,
yeah,
a true friend walks in when everybody else walks out. A true friend doesn't rub it in when you make a mistake, they rub it out.
Ooh, whoops.
Whoopsies. Folks, that does it for the first hour. When we come back, we've got the interactive portion of the show. Today's topic, greatest movie plot twists ever.
Beast.
Enjoy the long break. We'll see you guys in about 7 minutes. You're listening to Fenix Media. Listen live and explore more great shows at phoenixmedia.us.
Hamilton was adopted from a rescue in 2008. He really likes to be around people. I get out my mat and I'm doing a downward dog and he's underneath. He's quite the pug about town. He gets invited to a lot of parties. He knows he's a pretty big deal. Look at this little face. How could you not love him?
Hamilton the Pug, Instagram star, and shelter pet. Amazing adoption stories start in shelters. Visit theshelterpetproject.org to find a pet near you. Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
You make sure his toys don't have any sharp edges. You taught her what to do when the smoke alarm goes off. You do so much to keep your child safe. But are you using the right car seat for your child? Car crashes are a leading killer of children ages 1 to 13. Protect your child's future at every stage of life. For information on the right seat for your child, visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat.
A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council. So you see, son, good manners are important. Should I go through it again?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Exactly. Always say please, thank you, you're welcome, and excuse me. Sit up straight, hold doors open, don't speak with your mouth full, keep your elbows off the table. Share your things, play nice, and generally treat others the way you'd like to be treated. Got it?
Got it.
And stop picking your nose.
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush their teeth is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain. Visit 2min2x.org to find out more. A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
I'm a retired school psychologist, and helping people was my thing. After my stroke, when Meals on Wheels started, I was on the other end of the stick, so to speak. My name is Julius Gaines, creative writer, poet, photographer.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer for Meals on Wheels by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org. This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media, the future of broadcasting. To explore our complete lineup, head over to phoenixmedia.us or like our Facebook page at facebook.com/Fenix Media Radio.
From Feature Story News in Washington, I'm Giles Gibson.
New data from Pfizer and BioNTech suggests their coronavirus vaccine is 94% effective in people over the age of 65. The companies are now seeking an emergency use authorization for their vaccine candidate from the Food and Drug Administration in the United States. Sarah Walton has the details.
The pharmaceutical team says its ongoing Phase 3 trial now shows 94% of adults over 65 are protected from the coronavirus by its vaccine. That follows previous results that showed it to be 90% effective with no safety concerns. The new data is based on 170 cases of COVID-19 that developed amongst the 41,000 people taking part in the trial. Only 8 of those were in the group given the vaccine rather than a placebo. The Pfizer-BioNTech trial is set to continue for another 2 years, but the developers are expected to apply for emergency authorization to make the vaccine available within days. Sarah Walton, New York.
US authorities have given plane manufacturer Boeing clearance to resume flights of its 737 MAX jet, nearly 2 years after the model was grounded over fatal crashes. Almost 350 people were killed in 2 accidents in Indonesia and Ethiopia. Our US correspondent Nick Harper reports.
It's 20 months since the Federal Aviation Administration grounded the 737 MAX worldwide. The head of the FAA, Stephen Dixon, said he would be 100% comfortable with his family flying on board one of the planes. Other regulators around the world are now expected to follow the FAA's decision and allow MAX flights to resume. Since March 2019, Boeing has worked on software design and training, things that were all listed as contributing to the crashes. However, at a news conference, relatives of victims of the Ethiopian crash said it was too early to greenlight the planes. One widow saying aviation should not be a trial and error process. I'm Nick Harper in Washington.
And Ugandan presidential candidate Bobi Wine has been arrested on the campaign trail. The former pop star is running against Uganda's longtime president Yoweri Museveni in elections this February. Here's FSN's Hilary Ayasiga in Kampala.
Bobi Wine is currently being held at Nalufenya Detention Center in Uganda's eastern city of Jinja. His arrest has sparked riots in various parts of the country, including the capital, Kampala. Police is currently engaged in running battles with his supporters who are demanding for his release. Presidential aspirants are required to address a group of people not exceeding 200 and must wear a mask. Authorities believe this measure could help reduce the spread of COVID-19.
From bureaus worldwide, this is FSN.
Keyboard Cat, Hamilton the Pug, and Toast Meets World. These are some of the internet's most beloved pets. And they all have one thing in common. Their stories started in a shelter. Start your story. Adopt a dog or cat today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org to find a pet near you. Training that pet to play the keyboard, that's optional. Start a story. Adopt a shelter or rescue pet today. Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
Okay, what are you wearing right now?
Nothing.
That's right. So mommy's gonna teach you how to dress yourself. Underwear always comes first, name tag at the back, then pants, then shirt. Get the first button in the right hole or you have to start all over. Socks going first, then shoes, right on right, left on left. With shoelaces, just take the ends, cross them over, switch the loops, the rabbit goes down the hole, pull tight, and you're left with bunny ears. Got it? Why are your pants on your head?
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush their teeth is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain. Visit 2min2x.org to find out more. A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
How's it going?
I'm having a stroke.
Are you going to shake my hand?
I'm having a stroke.
Wow, you're not even moving your arm.
I'm having a stroke.
When someone is having a stroke, they may not be able to say it with words, but their body language will tell you loud and clear. Look for FAST. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911 immediately. Know the sudden signs. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
The storks are bringing me a baby brother. We can do this together.
All right, let's go.
Storks know how to keep kids safe. Do you?
What?
Oh my gosh, you don't know.
I know.
You don't. Oh man, you laugh when you're uncomfortable.
No.
Making sure your child is in the right car seat is one of the steps to safer travel.
I will rock this.
You will rock this.
To know for sure that your child is in the right car seat for their age and size, visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat.
Cool. Very cool.
Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
The following is a production of Fenix Media. The views expressed do not necessarily represent those of the company or its advertisers and may contain language that's unsuitable for younger listeners.
Laugh it up, fuzzball.
I'm about to do to you what Limp Bizkit did to music in the late 90s.
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
There goes the last DJ.
Gentlemen, I wash my hands of this weirdness.
Welcome back, folks, to the second hour of the Kristian Fenix radio show. It is Wednesday, November 18th. We are your daily dose of laughs and levity in a crazy, crazy world. Still joined by my co-host, Mr. Tony Sanfilippo. Tony, how are things going there? Luckily, we had the rain just stop. The sun's starting to poke out now, and it looks like it'll actually be a pretty nice day.
That's good. We got partially cloudy skies here at Fort Collins. Little on the cold side, but we're supposed to get some snow and all that good stuff this weekend, apparently. So,
and that was your Phoenix weather report.
Yeah, no, but I'm doing good. Well, you asked, but you rolled with weather, and I just gave you the weather here, and it's all the same. You know, it's still doing good. It's hour number 2. Got a smoothie. It's the same old every day. It's like Groundhog Day.
Yeah,
pretty much the same.
Same day, different topics. Speaking of topics, this is the interactive portion of the show where we want to hear from you guys, the listeners, which is why we have you chime in the day before. We'll give you the topic, let you know what the next day's topic is so you can call the Fenix Line, our 24-hour-a-day, 7-day-a-week voicemail line. Let us know your thoughts on what that topic might be. The number for the Fenix Line, 855-FENIX-RADIO. That's 855-FENIX-RDO or 855-336-4973. And you have the added bonus that if you do leave a message on the Fenix Line for one of our call-in topics, you are entered into a chance for our prize contest, as we like to call it now. Chance to win Fenix fan gear, including a Fenix Media hat, t-shirt, maybe a couple other goodies, and I think by Friday we'll probably do the next drawing for that. In any case, you can also chime in, not eligible for the prize contest, but you can chime in on our Facebook page at facebook.com/Kristian Fenix Radio on our live video for the topic. And again, today's topic is the greatest movie plot twists ever. Tony and I are big movie fans, and some of our favorite movies are movies that you don't see the ending coming. It's just out of left field. For me, I actually studied film. I went to film school. We took classes on film theory and things like that. And I have the advantage and disadvantage of, in a lot of cases, sort of seeing where things are going before they ever happen, knowing how it's going to end. And I love being pleasantly surprised with a huge plot twist that I didn't see coming. Tony, let's go ahead and start with you. What movie do you think had the greatest plot twist ever?
Greatest ever. Well, I mean, you got to go with, the most shocking and common one, of course, I would say is going to be The Sixth Sense, right? Like at the end, you can only watch that movie one time because of the whole fact that once you know how it ends, then you can't go. I mean, you could go back one more time just to kind of catch the little things you may have missed. But after that, it kind of loses the shock and awe. But the whole time, like with Bruce Willis being dead the entire time, and
spoiler alert,
Haley Joel Osment actually seeing ghosts. Well, I figure at this point people have seen it.
Right.
So I hope you have it. Spoiler alert, he's dead. But that was the first big shocking one, man. That was huge. I mean, I was trying to think of like more recent ones. But I always hog this part, so I don't want to hog your time. But I'm just going to go with The Sixth Sense as the biggest one. And if we got time, I'll chime in later with another. I don't want to steal the time like you usually do.
Oh, that's all right. Yeah, Sixth Sense was a great movie. And, of course, that is a movie that, you can only watch for the first time once, as you had mentioned. But if you go back and rewatch it, you can actually pick up and see it through completely different eyes, knowing what the outcome is, which is fantastic. For me, and one of my favorite movies of all time.
Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately directed by a sexual predator and starring a sexual predator, which is very sad. Talking The Usual Suspects, directed by Bryan Singer, starring Kevin Spacey. But great movie, great cast. And of course, the reveal at the end that this entire story was essentially made up. There were certain facts that, Verbal Kint danced around. But for the most part, he made the entire thing up. And then when he goes from walking out of the precinct with the limp to walking straight, and it's revealed that he was Kaiser Soze the whole time. I mean, I still get goosebumps from it, and it's only a movie. It was just amazing the way it was crafted, the way that they made it all work to the point that they could drop this bomb at the end that nobody saw coming.
Yeah, the fantastic movie. You always go with horror movies too. There's a lot of recent ones. The one I was gonna say, I didn't want to say it in case you said it. So, but the most recent one I was gonna say was Get Out. That took me a while to watch that. And when I finally did, because I was like, well, it's just basically, it's these white people that are racist against the black boyfriend. Only to learn, like, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen it, you might want to maybe la 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 or something right now. But at the end, it's like, it's just people that keep using the brain of an older person to keep staying alive, and they have to, and the whole point is the girl has to lure these guys there so they could take a fresh brain so he could stay alive. He has to keep moving into a younger body to stay alive. It was crazy. Hella didn't think that was going to happen. I thought it was just a racist dude. So
yeah,
that was probably one of the most recent films I've watched where I was like, oh, okay. Well, that's different.
And the fact that they picked African Americans for their athletic ability and things that they saw as advantages to a new body, sort of helped set a social scene that, obviously Jordan Peele's movies tend to do. But
yeah, he's got good twists. Yeah. Like his is like M. Night Shyamalan a Ding Dong has always a twist that, but Peele's are like, they're different, man.
Yeah.
Definitely different.
Great movies. Those were our picks. Now we want to hear from you guys. We're going to head into our break, but feel free to chime in on the comment section of our Facebook video at facebook.com/Kristian Fenix Radio. Let us know what your choice is for the greatest movie plot twist of all time. Folks, when we come back, it's all about you, so don't touch that dial.
Welcome to Calvin's Barbershop.
You all gotta see this.
I don't even want to know what you're looking at on that phone.
Well, you should. I was learning about the dangers of high blood pressure and that we need to get ours checked regularly. High blood pressure can increase the risk of heart attack or stroke, but this text program can help keep it at a healthy range. Just text Barbershop to 97779 to sign up.
I'll get right on it as soon as I'm done with this baby panda video.
Text Barbershop to 97779. A message from the American Heart Association and the Ad Council.
It's important to plan ahead for emergencies, like the storm. When it kicked in, we had a plan. We were able to get in touch with each other in no time.
Idea how to find each other.
The whole experience was fine.
The most frightening 10 hours of my life.
If there's one piece of advice I'd offer other moms out there, it's to stay calm and keep to the plan.
Some parents plan ahead, some don't. Make sure you know where to find your family in an emergency. Start your plan at ready.gov. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
I spend a lot of time in the backyard, and I'm the center of attention at summer barbecues. In '96, I made some of the tastiest s'mores. And in '09, it was me, your backyard fire pit, that accidentally started a wildfire when a summer breeze carried one of my embers into some dry brush.
Spark a change, not a wildfire. Visit SmokeyBear.com. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Hope you enjoyed your meal.
And I just want to say, he's lucky to have a brother like you.
Lucky? Caring for my brother is far from easy. But he's a part of me, like my arms and legs, so I'll be his. No time for tired. Nothing can disable this love. He needs me, but I'm the lucky one, even though I need help now and then.
If you're caring for a loved one, visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community. Support for your strength. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
What if I told you that a tornado was going to happen tomorrow, right where you live? That it would touch down at exactly 3:17 p.m., and I told you the exact path it would take. You would, of course, prepare. You would talk with your loved ones, and you'd make a plan today. It's true, I can't tell you a tornado will strike tomorrow, but shouldn't you have a plan anyway? Go to ready.gov/communicate and make your emergency plan today. Don't wait. Communicate. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
This is Mario Andretti. You know me as a race car driver, but I'm also a Meals on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sport's biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. You can make a difference by dropping off a hot meal and saying a quick hello. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media. Listen live and explore more great shows at phoenixmedia.us. Get everything you need for the Kristian Fenix Radio Show over at phoenixmedia.us or on Facebook at facebook.com/Fenix Media Radio. Now back to the show. Indeed. This is the Kristian Fenix Radio Show. It is Wednesday, November 18th. We are smack dab in the middle of our call-in topic where we want you guys to interact with us. Today's subject is the greatest movie plot twist of all time. It looks like Tony was so excited about it, he may have spilled his smoothie all over his floor.
The smoothie spilt all over my carpet, so bear with me. I'm going to be a part of the segment, but I got to clean this up because it's going to stay in the carpet.
Ooh, yeah,
so
you don't want that.
I got to work on that, so you keep rolling. I'm still right here to be a part of the show. I'm going to chime in, but those watching, I'm not going to really be on screen a lot. I'm sorry.
And Tony, we know it's an exciting topic, but you don't have to go spill your smoothie over it, so... It is one of those things. But folks, we do want to hear from you. Feel free to chime in on our comment section on Facebook, facebook.com/Kristian Fenix Radio. Just go to the live video, comment there about the greatest movie plot twists of all time. And then, Tony may be back in case, one of our friends decided to text in with their pick. But
they did, so I can do it. And I'll chime in. I'm so sorry. This is just more. Unfortunately, I have to take care of this. Is a little more important. I'm sorry.
The joys of live radio.
Yeah, Yendra's chimed in, and they wanted to say The Village, M. Night Shyamalan, had a really good plot twist to it. And the very first Saw was really good because at the end, the big twist was the dead body the whole time wasn't actually a dead body.
Do you want to play a game?
Yeah, and actually,
and also,
Saw
you've vamp, and I'll have that.
Saw was going to be one of my picks. I love the Saw franchise, even though the odd numbered ones tend to be better than the even numbered ones, but they all interrelate. But I still remember seeing that first one, which was still a relatively low-budget movie, and of course, they didn't expect it to take off. And then the fact at the very end, when John Kramer, Jigsaw himself, stands up, he was the dead body in that nasty-ass bathroom the whole time, was just mind-blowing. The fact that he had orchestrated this whole thing and he was in the room the whole time. Love that idea, love that plot twist, and again, it's something I never quite saw coming. So, I love it when horror movies can do that. Folks, feel free to chime in with your pick for the greatest movie plot twists of all time. Another movie that I remember watching as a kid, it really didn't hit me as much as it would have now just because I really didn't understand it. I was always more in awe of the cheesy makeup effects, but Planet of the Apes. Charlton Heston, his over-the-top, damn dirty apes. But the reveal at the end that he wasn't actually on a alien planet. He was on the planet Earth, and of course, rides up to find half of the Statue of Liberty sitting on the beach, sticking out of the sand, and it was actually sort of a dystopian future that the apes have taken over, and humans were no longer the dominant species. Again, would have had bigger impact if I hadn't seen it as a kid, but it was still a jarring movie plot twist. And of course, the Tim Burton one never quite lived up to that same level. Though
I'm going to give you a world-class knuckle sandwich.
Mark Wahlberg. But the more recent Matt Reeves movies have been fantastic, so I enjoyed watching those. A kids movie that had a plot twist that many people didn't see coming was Disney Pixar's Coco. Fantastic movie. That's another one that certainly makes you tear up.
Never saw that one.
Really? Oh.
Yeah, never seen the Coco.
I'm a little conflicted now whether or not to give away the ending or let you watch it.
No, you can talk about it and give it.
Okay. All right. So eventually it's, Coco, not Coco, but the boy basically, travels to the land of the dead to find his long-lost dad, whose guitar had been taken, and it's this magical musical instrument, and was this famous singer-songwriter, until it's revealed that the sort of the hobo character that was helping him out was actually his grandfather. I'm butchering it, so I'm going to let you watch it, Tony, because I'm just going to move on.
Okay. Whatever you'd like to do for that, that's fine. I mean, it looks great. It's a Pixar film. Looks great, but never saw it.
And folks, if you're just now tuning in, that gopher that keeps popping up is Tony. He did spill his smoothie on the floor, so.
And it's flipping almost like carpet too, dude. This sucks.
And of course, it was probably full of strawberries and other berries that.
Bright purple. It was all berries.
It's like Captain Crunch. Oops,
it was
all
a
berries.
Good smoothie too. I've never knocked it over before. That's the first time.
But while Tony does his gopher routine, we'll move on with the greatest movie plot twists of all time. And of course, you guys can feel free to chime in on our Facebook page in the comment section at facebook.com/Kristian Fenix Radio. Now, one of the greatest psychological thrillers, horror movies of all time, going back to 1960, was Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho, where this is a movie I did see when I was older. Obviously didn't see it as a little kid, but even then the plot twist at the end was shocking enough that I didn't see it coming. Obviously Norman Bates is a little bit of a mama's boy. He does whatever mama says and obviously kills whoever mama desires to be dead, until it's revealed at the end that mama has been dead the entire time. She's nothing but bones in a wig in a rocking chair, and everything is essentially just in Norman Bates' mind. And I remember that being shocking and thrilling all at the same time.
Yeah, I got a feedback from Lacey on that one when we talked about Ed Gein the other day. Yeah. It's just kind of her knowledge for serial killer stuff is freaky. It's like your knowledge of directors and actors and who is in what. Yeah, I'm like winded from cleaning all that.
Got your workout in for the day.
I got my workout in between. Jeez, what a day. Saturday not gonna be a good day, I don't think. But nonetheless, that was a crazy thing at the end, like with the dead mom. Oh.
Yeah.
But apparently, like, that was based and inspired off real stuff. So.
Well, and some of the best fiction is based in reality. So. Moving on with, here's a more recent one that, people could be talking about as far as greatest movie plot twists of all time. Fight Club, where it's revealed that this entire time Ed Norton and, Brad Pitt. Woo!
Yeah, it's okay.
I'm staring at his
Mike
face.
And Lacey chimed in on that one too. Mm-hmm. They gave me quite a few, but yeah. This was one of theirs as well.
Exactly. But that Ed Norton and Brad Pitt were both Tyler Durden, one and the same, split personalities. And, again, you go back and you watch just like The Sixth Sense and pick out the points where, he was more of the Brad Pitt character and, didn't realize what he was doing as Ed Norton. And then, of course, you had those intercut little frames that they talked about throughout the movie that, with the cigarette burn right before it changes reels. And, of course, you would get that single frame of a male phallus just popping up there to surprise you.
Yeah, that was random. It did tie into the movie because they did, he was splicing, his version when he was Brad Pitt was splicing stuff into movies. So it was kind of funny that it just burned in randomly.
Lacey also chimed in on our Facebook comments. Again, one of the biggest ones in sci-fi of all time was the reveal that Darth Vader was Luke Skywalker's father, that he hadn't killed Anakin Skywalker, rather he was Anakin Skywalker. And I've mentioned it, before that I took my boys recently to go watch that on the big screen. And that reveal, even though I've seen it probably hundreds of times, it still would give me goosebumps just, seeing that as it plays out.
Yeah, it was, when you're a kid, when I was a little kid, I didn't really care. I was just like, why is he screaming like a little girl? But when you're, when you understand, Darth Vader's like the biggest of the bads of, of all the galaxy, and you're grown to think that your dad is this good guy, and while he was a good guy at one point, this is now who he is, and you have to accept it.
Yeah, and a lot of kids want to follow in their father's footsteps, and in this case, if he had followed in his father's footsteps, that would have meant turning to the dark side, which obviously he didn't want to do, even though there were some great alternative books that show Luke going to the dark side. That would have been a fun plot to explore.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then finally, with greatest movie plot twists of all time, a movie that we watched during the Halloween season, PG-13, great horror movie, The Others, with Nicole Kidman.
Others?
It's a typical sort of haunted house thriller. But of course, the big plot twist at the end is the fact that they were the ones who were haunting the house, and who they thought were the ghosts were the real people that were living there. And, sort of a great twist of fate, and done in a way that didn't need an R rating.
That's good. Anytime you can get away with that and get more eyes on your product, always a good thing.
Exactly. Well, folks, that does it for this interactive portion of the show with greatest movie plot twists of all time. Tomorrow we have a call-in contest, so we want to invite you guys to head over to our phoenixmedia.us/Kristian Fenix Radio, fill out the contest entry form, and we'll pull one name to compete against Tony in what we're calling Tony Beatdown. I'm going to throw some trivial pursuit type knowledge at Tony and whoever his contestant is, and the winner wins a wonderful prize. So
that should be fun.
Yeah.
There will be no smoothie sitting right here prior to that.
So no Fenix Line for tomorrow's, but like I said, head over to phoenixmedia.us/Kristian Fenix Radio Show and fill out the contest entry for a chance to play Tony Beatdown. Folks, when we come back, we have a segment called College Roommates. Don't go anywhere. Tony's going to finish cleaning up, and we're going to be back in about 3 minutes.
Okay, what are you wearing right now?
Nothing.
That's right. So mommy's gonna teach you how to dress yourself. Underwear always comes first, name tag at the back, then pants, then shirt. Get the first button in the right hole or you have to start all over. Socks going first, then shoes, right on right, left on left. With shoelaces, just take the ends, cross them over, switch the loops, the rabbit goes down the hole, pull tight, and you're left with bunny ears. Got it? Why are your pants on your head?
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush their teeth is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain. Visit 2min2x.org to find out more. A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
This message is for all of you sitting in the passenger seat. And apologies if it gets a little uncomfortable. But how does it feel to be at the mercy of someone who thinks a random text is more important than your life? Someone who takes their eyes off the road while speeding along in a 3-ton hunk of steel. Freaky, right? Well, why not just ask them to stop? Or better yet, volunteer to text for them. It might be a little awkward, but believe me, you'll live.
Learn more at stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
We are live outside the home of Joe and Rosie Goddard, where a pretty big tickle fight broke out just minutes ago. Sources say their father instigated the laughter. Let's go inside for a comment. Apparently, they have no comment. Dads, let this be a reminder that it only takes a moment to make a moment. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
How's it going?
I'm having a stroke.
Are you going to shake my hand?
I'm having a stroke.
Wow, you're not even moving your arm.
I'm having a stroke.
When someone is having a stroke, they may not be able to say it with words, but their body language will tell you loud and clear. Look for FAST. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911 immediately. Know the sudden signs. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
Hello, Kubo. What have you got planned for today?
Come on, this way.
Adventure can be found anywhere, but the best place to start is in the forest.
It's the most powerful magic there is.
Head outside to discover incredible animals.
Wow.
And beautiful plants that come together to create an unforgettable adventure. So grab your loved ones and explore a world of possibilities. Visit discovertheforest.org to find the closest forest or park to you. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the U.S. Forest Service.
My teacher said that we should have a plan in case of an emergency. Do we have one?
First thing I'm gonna do is grab a flashlight with dead batteries.
I'm going to start randomly throwing clothes in the bag. You two will be hiding in the closet and Dad won't be able to find you.
And that's when we both start crying.
Uncontrollably. Can you pass the cutlets?
Winging it is not an emergency plan. Make sure your kids know what to do during an emergency, who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Search Ready Kids at nyc.gov or call 311. Brought to you by the New York City Office of Emergency Management and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media, the future of broadcasting. Listen live at phoenixmedia.us. Get everything you need for the Kristian Fenix radio show over at phoenixmedia.us or on Facebook at facebook.com/Fenix Media Radio. Now back to the show. And we are back, folks. This is the Kristian Fenix radio show. It is Wednesday, November 18th. Now, we talk about it a couple times each show. It is the Fenix Line, a 24-hour-a-day, 7-day-a-week voicemail line, giving you guys the opportunity to chime in on anything whatsoever. You know how it works. You leave a message after the beep. You don't even have to speak with a live human being. Nope. It is typically how we do our call-in topic for the next day. However, tomorrow's is a call-in contest. So again, we're urging you to head over to phoenixmedia.us/Kristian Fenix radio show, filling out the form there. But if you want to leave a message on the Fenix Line, well, you can do that. Numbers toll free from anywhere in the world, 855-Phoenix-Radio. That's 855-FENIX-RDO or 855-336-4973 for the alphanumerically impaired. All that we ask is that you keep it entertaining. We will compile those together, put them out in a future show. Now, in this segment, I wanted to talk about college roommates, particularly college roommate horror stories. You know, when you go to college, you're whisked away in many cases to a place you're unfamiliar with. You're paired up with a roommate, especially if you're in the dorms, that you've never met before. You don't know what each other's living styles are like, what their preferences are, or how big of a slob they might be. But you know what? It's one of those life lessons.
Super slob!
Yep, that you just have to learn. Now, Tony, I know you didn't necessarily have a college roommate, but you've had numerous roommates over the years. Any particular story come to mind of something that didn't quite sit right with you when it came to a roommate?
I used to I've only had one kind of annoying roommate. I've never had a bad roommate per se. Like, I've never had a messy or disrespectful roommate. You know, obviously, when you live with a roommate with kids come with the territory. The kids are going to be kids. They're going to be loud. They're going to get into things. They're going to, do stuff.
They're going to suck up your internet bandwidth.
Yeah, dude, of course, yeah. But we had one roommate. He used to he would get into your food sometimes. Be like, "Oh, I'll pay you back." It's
I
like
never
just
did.
ask. You don't have to. Don't just get into the food like that. That's kind of annoying. And then it's like when you'd be watching TV. Could you turn your TV down? And then you turn it down to be respectful, of course, because I'm a little harder of hearing, so it probably is a little loud. So I turn it down super low. We're talking like under 10, volume 10, no surround sound. I can still hear the TV. Like I had the one, yeah. So the TV telling me to turn down the TV where I couldn't even hear it pissed me off. And the getting into my food used to piss me off. But other than that, I've been fortunate and lucky with any roommate I've had. They've been clean, respectful, and good.
Yeah, and just like any other long-term or semi-long-term relationship, it's best to set expectations up front. Just have a conversation, talk about, hey, these are the things that really bug me. Here's what I'm very particular about. Here's my coming and going patterns. And as long as everybody understands it, it ends up being okay. Now, I had a college roommate who, one thing he didn't warn me about was his night terrors, and he would actually interact in the middle of the night. For instance, I walked in one night, he sat up straight in bed, looked at me and said, "What are you doing here? Get out! Get out!" And then went right back to bed. Didn't remember it. Started yelling at me, but obviously I don't think it was aimed at me in particular. He just was having some weird night terror.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That'd be weird. That would be strange.
Well, running down a list of some college roommate nightmares, not that type of nightmare, but other ones. You have this user, Colleen D9, who says, "I caught my roommate having sex with her boyfriend on my bed."
Oh, right.
Oh, it happened to be the day I came home from my beloved grandmother's memorial service. So, way to just rub that one in.
Yeah.
Here's one that...
I like how you got that rub one in there.
Here's one that, Tony, you've been known to make urinals around any part of the world. Says, "My roommate piled miscellaneous items on my face while I was sleeping, and when I unburied myself and sat up, I noticed she was peeing on my bed. Completely confused and in shock, I quickly climbed off the bed and said, 'Do you need me to take you to the bathroom?' She replied, 'No, I don't need you to because there's one right here.' And she pointed to her bed."
I'd be pissed.
Literally
like,
and
I've
figuratively.
Never even done.
No. And again, I don't know if that's something where she was sleepwalking or doing something unconsciously, but...
I'd be pissed. So pissed.
Here's one that you wouldn't be pissed if you had a good-looking female roommate. Tone says, "I woke up to my roommate practicing her tap dancing, completely topless, with just underwear on her bottom half. She was 2 feet from my bed."
No, that'd be all right. It'd be all right to wake up. But do you need help dancing? Do you need a dance partner? Shall we go clogging? It's like the Geico commercial,
right.
Where we got a clogging problem and it's these dancers above them. So,
moving on with college roommate nightmares. This one truly is. "I started spending the night at my boyfriend's room a few times a week. One time I came back to my room to find a piece of paper on my bed. In crayon, of all things, my roommate wrote, 'I miss the sound of your breathing.' She moved out shortly after."
That's a bit much, It just made me think. I think this is probably the most appropriate. Like one of my girlfriends, when we were cuddling. We'll keep this PG and friendly for parents don't have to answer. So we were cuddling. Do what you will with that. And her roommate, which was a dude, was like outside the door listening.
Did he
like,
have
not my roommate, but it was just creepy.
That is creepy. Did he have a cup to the door?
No, I don't know. Like, it's possible. Like he was just right. Like when we were done and we left the room, he was just like right outside the door, like looking at the door with no TV on, no music. He wasn't looking at his phone. He was just And he's like, oh, I was just spacing off.
That is weird. That is definitely
No, like
weird.
you could have even masked, like he could have just turned on the TV and been on his phone. Would have not thought anything of it. You know what I mean? Like he could have played that off smooth and nothing, but instead it was like extra creepy.
Moving on with
cuddling, you know, it was just
yeah, that's all it was. Moving on with college roommate nightmares. Again, this just goes to show how petty some people can be. You have user Sawyer27 says, I walked in one night to find her going through all my stuff and breaking things, all because she thought I stole her bath towel.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's like the story we did the other day where a guy murdered his friend because he thought he stole his beanie. And then, of course, he realized that he just left it at another friend's house.
Yep, and they're not friends no more because he killed one.
Yeah.
He's an idiot.
It's ridiculous. Well, speaking of ridiculous, with college roommate nightmares, of course, you know, you get those who are just a little too lazy for their own good and apparently think other creatures will be lazy as well. Says
Creatures of the night.
My roommates would rather climb over piles of trash in the kitchen than take them out. And when I noted that there were ants in their rooms, they shrugged and said, they'll go away when they get bored. Pretty sure ants don't get bored.
Yeah. Don't worry. They'll go when they go. No, they're not.
Here's one that, hey, it might have been Adam. Says, my housemates had a party and I came in the next morning to find a bucket of vomit under the kitchen table. I thought they had cleaned it up, but 6 months later we were moving out, and guess what I found out on the balcony? The very same bucket of vomit. Yummy.
Oh, no. Wasn't it Adam that puked in the coffee pot?
Yeah, it was the first time he tried chew. Didn't realize that you weren't supposed to swallow it. Swallowed it, and then found the nearest container he could find, which was a coffee pot. Threw up in it, put it right back onto the...
Yep. Good stuff. I vividly remember that whole night too. It was crazy.
I do too.
Right behind that old Chinese place in Carson.
And then finally, with college roommate nightmares, here's one that kind of goes into the Tony book. It says, my roommate during freshman year got drunk, peed herself, then blamed it on my emotional support dog. Does that sound familiar, Tone?
Well, I've never peed myself.
No, you've peed
I've
on the
always
carpet.
been able to get it out to pee. Like, I'm the dude that'll pee on things, but never peed myself. So,
yes,
yeah.
But you have blamed it on the dog.
I did, yeah. Yeah, they didn't. I don't think anyone bought that, though.
No, not so much. Folks, that does it for college roommate nightmares. When we come back, we are headed into the final segment of the show. Yes, it's time for This Day in History. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in a few.
This is Mario Andretti. You know me as a race car driver, but I'm also a Meals on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sport's biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. You can make a difference by dropping off a hot meal and saying a quick hello. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
People been saying to your friend, get a different face, and posting on their feed, they're super ugly. The things they say to them online are cruel and they're not true. So tell your friend, I'll stand up for you. Don't worry, I know what to do.
Know someone being bullied online? You can be a witness and make a difference by letting the world know it isn't cool and by letting your friend know you care. Learn more at eyewitnessbullying.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Hope you enjoyed your meal. And I just want to say, he's lucky to have a brother like you.
Lucky? Caring for my brother is far from easy. But he's a part of me, like my arms and legs, so I'll be his. No time for tired. Nothing can disable this love. He needs me, but I'm the lucky one, even though I need help now and then.
If you're caring for a loved one, visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community. Support for your strength. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Allison is perfect. I mean, she'd never tell you that. She's humble and perfect. She likes everyone. She even likes her untidy roommate's weird guinea pig. Allison, wait, are you texting and driving? Allison, no. That's the exact opposite of what I was just saying about you. Why, Allison? Why? Texting and driving makes good people look bad. Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
I'm Paul George of the Indiana Pacers. When I was 6, my days were spent playing basketball. When I was 6, my dream was to make it to the NBA. When I was 6, my mom had a stroke. So I want you to learn to spot a stroke fast. F-A-S-T. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911. I'm Paul George. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
My name is Lola Silvestri, and I'm going to be 95 this year. I was very independent. I fell, and I had to have Meals on Wheels. America, let's do lunch.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer for Meals on Wheels by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org. This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media, the future of broadcasting. Explore more great shows at phoenixmedia.us. Get everything you need for the Kristian Fenix radio show over at phoenixmedia.us or on Facebook at facebook.com/Fenix Media Radio. Now back to the show. Well, we did it, folks. We made it to the end of this episode of the Kristian Fenix radio show. Not before we drop a little knowledge on you. Hopefully make you laugh with this day in history. But it is Wednesday, November 18th. And if you missed a portion of the show or you want to go back and catch up on any of the previous shows, it's easy enough to do so. Head over to phoenixmedia.us, click on the show's link, scroll on down to the Kristian Fenix radio show. From there, you can get video, you can get audio as well, or head over to wherever you get podcasts. Apple, Google, Stitcher, Spotify, Anchor Breaker, TuneIn, iHeart, Doozer, Dozer, Geezer, Gozer.
Are you a god?
Yes!
I was wondering what you were doing, Tone.
I wanted to flip my eyelid and be different. I didn't have a soundbite ready. It's, I totally jinxed it. Wait, remember you asked me, how are we doing the second hour? Oh, it's like Groundhog Day. It's the same day. Nope. It's not the same day.
Not so much.
You're smoothing.
Well, folks, while you are over there, be sure to subscribe. That way you always have the latest episode. Leave a review. Let us know what you think. And tell your friends, because why, Tony?
Sharing is caring.
And Tony likes to share his smoothie with his carpet, so...
oh, man.
But he doesn't care for it all that much.
Being that it is... stain it.
Yeah. Being that it is the final segment of the show, let's go ahead and drop a little knowledge on you. Hopefully make you laugh at the same time. It is time for This Day in History.
Crossing the globe for the stories that turn the world on its head. It's This Day in History with your correspondent on the beat,
Kristian Fenix.
Thanks, Siri. All right, kicking things
Siri.
off on This Day in History. This day in 1497, Portuguese navigator Vasco da Gama reaches the Cape of Good Hope, which is the very tip of South Africa. And of course, back those days, if you wanted to get to India, you wanted to be involved in the spice trade, you had to go the long way around. I didn't envy those guys.
Definitely not. You just had to hope. Well, you had to get to the Cape of Hope by giving it just the tip. Just the tip. Bazinga.
Do you think
I actually had the soundbite for that one?
Do you think
when it's not going to work?
Nope. Yeah, it's just the way it's going for you today.
Yeah. F it.
Speaking of which, do you think when they left, and they pulling up the anchor, they pulled and prayed that they were going to make it to their destination?
Yeah, they were hoping.
Moving on, this day in 1626, St. Peter's Basilica is consecrated, replacing an earlier basilica on the same site and becoming the world's largest Christian basilica. Of course, it is the centerpiece of Vatican City in Rome, where the Pope goes to work with his Pope hat. My only question is a basilica the same thing as a church, or is it different? And how is it different? Any knowledge there, Tom?
Great question. No, I just had my little phase of religion. That was like that year or two.
Yeah. And yours was less of the traditional, more of the new wave of Christianity.
Yeah, mine was new wave. Yeah.
Where you
it was cool, man. Hey, You go to church with a hot blonde girl and they're playing Van Halen, you're going to church. It's just how it goes.
Okay. You do crazy things for love.
Mm-hmm. It's a long time of it. I'm sure you guys loved all that version of Tony.
This day in 1865, Mark Twain publishes Celebrated Jumping Frog of Calaveras County. I'm not familiar with that one. Are you, Tone?
No, I'm very shocked about it because when you say Mark Twain, I definitely think of Virginia City and then Northern Nevada because he had a lot of roots and ties out there.
He did, and yeah,
it's not one that is familiar with me.
Books like Huckleberry Finn, the Celebrated Jumping Frog of Calaveras County, maybe not one of his more well-known works. Moving on, this day in 1872, suffragette Susan B. Anthony is arrested by a U.S. deputy marshal and charged with illegally voting. Apparently, she was recently spotted in Georgia, Michigan, and Pennsylvania as well. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, we're gonna get
Susan
complaints
B. Hey,
there.
but don't worry, we'll fame her on a dollar coin. We'll make a dollar coin with her on it.
Yeah, and if you still have those dollar coins, I think they're collector's items at this point.
Yeah, absolutely.
This day in 1916, British General Douglas Haig finally calls off the first battle of the Somme in World War I after more than 1 million soldiers had been killed or wounded. That is a lot of soldiers just dying in battle unnecessarily.
Yeah. Man, it's crazy. You think war is obviously never good, but you think about the old days with all the wars and just I think it was recent with D-Day. Like they took the time to actually put the little outlines of where bodies would be, just to give a visual scope of what it was like, and it's just insane.
Yeah, and back then, they were fighting in trenches, and I mean, just some of the imagery to come out of those is terrifying.
Yeah, and I know that's not how war is nowadays. It's usually sneak attacks and things of those natures. It's more stealthy, but back then, man, it was front lines. It was like...
Yeah. Ugh.
Scary.
Would not want to live through that.
No.
This day in 1926, George Bernard Shaw accepts the Nobel Prize for Literature, but refuses the prize money, saying, "I can forgive Alfred Nobel for inventing dynamite, but only a fiend in human form could have invented the Nobel Prize." I guess beggars can be choosers.
Yeah, I guess. Jeez.
This day in 1928, Walt Disney's Steamboat Willie is released, and it's the first Mickey Mouse sound cartoon. And I think that sound cartoon is important because I think he had an appearance before that wasn't Steamboat Willie. Some of our Disney fans will have to chime in and let us know how that actually panned out.
Steamboat Willie is a famous one, and they even use it to this day as right before a Disney movie. Typically, that'll be the little intro. Will be him doing that. The little whistle, spinning the wheel. It's real quick.
Yeah.
I don't know if they do it for Disney animation films. It's not like before every Disney movie, but I think it's for the actual Disney animated ones.
Yeah, not the Pixar movies. Pixar's you get the lamp that...
No, Pixar's the little bouncing lamp, yeah.
Yep. Here's a guy who continued to break barriers this day in 1949. National League batting leader with a .342 average, Jackie Robinson wins the National League MVP, which again at that time was just unheard of.
Yeah, if you want to see a good biopic pick on him, man, that movie 42 starring Chadwick Boseman, fantastic movie.
Yep.
Fantastic.
Here's an actor, actually, it's strange, haven't mentioned his name in years, and of course his name comes up twice in one show. This day in 1959, Ben-Hur, directed by William Wyler and starring Charlton Heston, premieres in New York City, and of course is the Academy Award winner for Best Picture the following year in 1960. 2 Charlton Heston references in one day. Who would have thought?
Crazy. Yeah, Dad definitely would not have thought that. You damn dirty ape. Damn Jews! Damn Jews all the hell!
I have to pry it from my cold, dead hand. Moving on, here's something that Lacey would probably be familiar with. This day in 1978, in Jonestown, Guyana, 918 members of the People's Temple are murdered or commit suicide under the leadership of cult leader Jim Jones.
That Jim Jones, man. Double J. Gonna stab you with a knife.
Yeah, just people blindly following a leader.
Wait, did you say Jim Jones?
Jim Jones.
Jimmy Jones.
Uh-oh.
Reggie, Pop Culture Kaboom. Check it out on Sundays. Whoa, man, I was going to play the Inception button there.
And of course it's not working, but...
That's a pretty common name, though.
Yeah. Speaking of cult leaders, this day in 1980, Heaven's Gate, film directed by Michael Cimino, starring Chris Christopherson and Christopher Walken, premieres one of the biggest box office bombs ever. Doesn't say how much money it made, but I mean, those were two big names of 1980, and it's surprising that it bombed.
Redfish, bluefish, yellowfish. I can't do it like Ryan did, but like he had a good Walken.
His Christopher Walken was spot on.
It was so good.
Let's see.
Kirsten.
Here's one that I know you remember. This day in 1993, WWF boss Vince McMahon is charged with steroid distribution. What? They were on steroids? No.
What, brother? I like all my guys jacked up and beat up. Yeah, I do. With your weights, you get big old guns. Yeah, you do. Guess what? I lift weights. I don't have big old guns.
No.
I don't know. You got to do a lot. I mean, you got to do a lot of supplements, things like that, because that poop ain't natural. That's for damn sure.
Yep. And then finally, this day in 1997, arguably their greatest album of all time, Metallica releases the album Reload. I'm just kidding. It wasn't their greatest, but
it was good.
It was a good album.
I mean, it wasn't as good as Load, but Reload. Now, I hated those album covers. As you can, I've actually got those, right? There's Reload right here, and there's Load right there.
Yeah, and if you do some research into what the Load album cover actually is, you're going to be pretty grossed out. We'll just leave it there.
I wish they would, like, if they ever re-release all this, I hope they go back with the old font and just put, like, a bitchin' old school cover. Because they used to have really good covers up until the Black Album. The Black Album was just, it was black, right? And then you got Load, Reload, and then it kind of just... The covers got lame for a long time.
Yeah, Death Magnetic had a pretty cool one.
Yeah, that one, but definitely not was it Hardwired to Self-Destruct?
Yeah.
The last one?
Yep.
Like, fantastic album. I mean, the album is great. It's just the album cover is...
And folks, we're headed towards the end of the show, but not without a few holidays, and literally just a few holidays, so we'll get through these pretty quickly. For instance, today is National Have a Party with Your Bear Day. Woo! It's International Day for Tolerance. It's National Button Day. And of course, it's National Fast Food Day. So go out, get yourself a Big Mac and a Happy Meal.
One more day. It's National Knock Your Smoothie and Disappear During Your Segment Day.
Speaking of disappearing, we're disappearing till tomorrow. See you guys on Thursday. You're listening to Fenix Media.